As the war neared its end in 1945, the paper's correspondents further distinguished themselves by reporting on several major events. In the early spring of that year, as the Axis collapse neared, the Sun sent Howard Norton to cover the final weeks of the Italian campaign. Not long after his arrival in March, Norton produced the Sun's biggest hard news scoop of the war, the execution of Italy's fascist dictator, Benito Mussolini, in the city of Milan.
What happened was that he was with 3 other correspondents, American correspondents, who learned of this. And they drew straws as to who was going to file first, second, third, and fourth. He was in 4th place. So the first 3 filed quick 1-paragraph leads that disappeared into ether on their way to their newspapers. His was a much longer piece, which got right through to the Sun and was the first news of the Mussolini execution.
The lead on Norton's April 29th news story read, "The body of Benito Mussolini lies in the mud in the Piazza Loreto here this morning, and thousands of Milanese are fighting their way through crushing crowds for an opportunity to spit on it." In France, Sun correspondent Price Day was with Allied forces as they continued to advance unchecked from city to city. On May 1st, Day wrote that Germany tonight is on the verge of utter military annihilation. Within a week, on May 7th, 1945, Day was in Reims. There he was the only staff correspondent of an individual newspaper to witness the surrender of the German troops. His dispatch, which appeared in the Sun on May 9th, read, "At 2:45 o'clock on this warm spring morning, Colonel General Gustav Jodl signed his name for the 4th time and carefully put down his pen. Europe's long war was over." Philip Heisler was one of the primary Sun paper's correspondents assigned to the war in the Pacific. Back in Baltimore, and writing in the May 29, 1945 Sun, Heisler predicted that World War II would be over in either 3 months or 3 years. Heisler's forecast proved eerily accurate on the short end, when the first atomic bomb fell on Hiroshima just more than 2 months later. After the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, 3 correspondents were assigned to cover the end of the war with Japan. Veteran journalists Philip Potter, Thomas O'Donnell, and Robert Cochrane were all aboard a battleship in Tokyo Bay when formally dressed Japanese envoys signed a document of surrender before Allied Supreme Commander General Douglas MacArthur. Cochrane, on deadline, filed the dispatch that led off, "World War II ended today," on the deck of the USS Missouri.